Good morning. Like. Thank you for joining us this morning on this thankful Thursday. We're excited to have you with us. Thank you so much. Hey, Jordan. Good morning. Hey, Mom. Good morning. We are totally excited for today. We got a special guest on at the second half. Let me see if I can say her name right. Ariane de Bonvoisin. Ariane de Bonvoisin. She is the author of 3 fantastic children's books, and we're going to be sharing a little bit of her stories and her books with the audience. And of course, we're going to be chopping it up with you, talking about today how does preparation meet with opportunity, and how you can get yourself ready for the success that you deserve. Some people talk about luck. I personally think that luck is preparation meeting opportunity, and that when the two collide, so it'll be awesome. So just let's get ready for the ride. We start at 9 a.m. just like always. And during this moment, if you would, just show your love by clicking on the share button and inviting someone who you think will benefit from today's show. What's good, Monica? Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining this morning. I really, really appreciate it. I am looking forward to just getting it in today. As always, on the Empowerment Duo page, we want you to post your business so that we can share and cross-reference and cross-populate the universe with everyone's particular brand of fabulousness. So we're going to keep that going. This thing is so sometimey, but we're going to make it happen and get it done. Join us for when preparation meets opportunity. How many of you have had that moment where it seemed like everything that you have been waiting for in your life just all of a sudden meets up with the perfect opportunity, that you meet that person that you didn't think that you would ever meet, or you meet that person that has the keys to the door that you've been waiting to open, or whatever the case is. And how many of you have ever had that experience and you were not ready? Woo! I've had the experience where I was not ready. But we're going to make sure that we talk about how you can be ready and stay ready for when preparation meets opportunity. Hey, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are live. And I appreciate the shares. I'm going to go ahead and get our music started. You look great in a white shirt. I'm excited about our guest in this second half. I'm excited about practicing her name. It is a good one. We are ready. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am LisaSantiagoMcNeill.
Thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to you each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN Network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Once again, Thank you for joining us here on Let's Talk About It. We are always happy to have you as our special morning guest, our co-host in the universe, and always want to see how we can support you building and growing your business as authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. As such, we open up our platform to you and those like you to share your special brand of amazingness with the world. As such, today we have a special guest on the second half. Her name is Ariane de Bonvoisin. And I've been practicing.
Good. Let's see it one more time.
I'm going to put it up so that I can see it.
Ariane de Bonvoisin.
There you go. Ariane de Bonvoisin.
And of course, she'll correct us when she gets on.
Yes, I asked her on last night when I did the pre-interview. Anyway, and I'm excited. Also, today is Thursday, the day before one of our favorite days of the week for the Empowerment Circle Interfaith. Oh, no, that's not coming up yet for the Empowerment Circle.
Yes.
And that will be at 933 Louise Avenue tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Where we have authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs all coming out to share in their personal businesses, their growth and development, share with us what's going on in their worlds.
Awesome. And today's show topic is an interesting one.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's been said that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't necessarily believe in luck, but we do believe in preparation meeting an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So what is preparation and what is an opportunity? We thought it might be fun if you helped us to define what does preparation mean and what does it look like?
Mm-hmm.
And what is opportunity? What is it really? And what does it look like? And how do you take advantage? And how do you marry them? How do you get preparation to meet opportunity?
Absolutely. And I like the word opportunity is one that I have been sort of intimately engaging with as I endeavor to navigate through obstacles. And I always, or not always, but I have said over the last, I want to say, 8-9 years,
Mm-hmm.
that obstacles are opportunities.
Well, obstacles are opportunities, an interesting concept. And there's a lot of historical reasons why you should believe that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the word opportunity and crisis and opportunity are the same symbol in the Chinese language.
Oh, wow. No, I did not know that.
Yes, the symbol for crisis
Mm-hmm.
is the same symbol for opportunity.
So that makes a lot of sense because for me, when I was challenged in the last stages of corporate life,
Mm-hmm.
it was a challenge for me.
Yeah, and you just said it kind of, obstacles are opportunities for you.
Mm-hmm. And so that was when I coined the phrase, go with the flow. In a different, everybody was already saying go with the flow. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that, but I coined an acronym for that phrase.
Flow, go with the
Mm-hmm.
flow. And your acronym that you put on the bottom of all your emails while at IBM was?
Yes. Faith, love, opportunities obstacles are faith, love, obstacles are opportunities equals wisdom. So it's FLO with the O inside of the O. It's making the O look like a donut.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom, W.
Speaking of donuts, shout out to Todd Jones, the owner of Cousins Dozen.
And good morning, Precious.
Dozens.
I know,
it's Cousins Dozen.
1 dozen, which is 12 donuts, unless it's a baker's dozen when it's 13. His favorite number is actually 14. So I wonder if he does a baker's dozen as 14.
Well, he has odd sizes too, so he probably does.
That's pretty cool.
Does that too, because this half dozen is 7 donuts.
There you go. So then that must
be.
Dozen.
He call it the mini.
There you go. So his dozen is probably 14. I'm going to ask him because the number 13 kept on coming. Hey, Precious. Good morning, Precious. Jerry. Thank you for joining.
Jerry. Good morning, Monica, as well. Good morning to you as well.
Jordan is on. My mom is on.
Jordan's on. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Jordan Harris.
Good morning. Good morning, Jordan Thomas.
Good morning, Mr. Jordan Thomas. How you doing, sir? I want to hear your thoughts, Jordan. What is preparation? And what is opportunity? And how do you feel about the concept of preparation and opportunity meeting? It's been said that's where luck happens. Some people don't call it luck. Some people call it providence. Some people call it divine providence. Yes, some people call it divine providence, as if ordered by God. when your preparation, when you're preparing, okay, let's say you decide to be a drummer. You want to be a great drummer, and you practice drumming, and you buy great drumsticks, and you watch other great drummers, and you prepare, and you're practicing daily. You're practicing daily. You're practicing your drumming. You're practicing your drumming, and an opportunity will pop up at a church you're visiting.
Wow.
Their drummer didn't show up.
Yes.
And you've been ready. Your preparation and the opportunity is there. I saw that one time.
Good morning, Carmelita. When?
Her name was LJ
Eccles.
LJ Eccles. Mm-hmm. Her and I were booked as speakers at a singles conference. This was a couple of years ago. I wasn't single at the time. I was married within a year, but they had already booked me. But anyway, LJ and I were speakers there. And Enough Said was the MC, was the host. And he was doing a great job. Well, they had a band and they had a choir, and the drummer didn't show. And I watched LJ in her high heel shoes run to the drum stand. She ran up there because the drummer wasn't there. She's a great drummer, and she was awesome. I mean, she was good. She could get on the drum and roll them sticks and everything.
That's awesome. So good morning. Today hey, Carmelita. Today we're talking about when preparation meets opportunity, and we would love to know maybe your story about when preparation met opportunity for you.
Now, when that happened, no one could ignore what happened. Said had to stop his routine to talk about it.
Of course.
Yes, you should have talked about that.
Yeah.
You saw preparation and opportunity meeting, and it was a great experience for everyone in the room. It blessed everyone.
Absolutely, mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm thankful for that. And that is also a principle of successful people, because she could have very, very easily
she wasn't there to be drumming. She was there to speak.
She could have very easily said, "They're not paying me for that," or "Dag, I wish somebody had a drummer."
I've seen that too.
There you go. Precious says that is success when preparation meets opportunity. One of my favorite Oprah quotes. It's the blueprint of me always moving towards my dream. Absolutely.
I love that quote by Oprah. One of my favorite quotes of Oprah, since we're going to throw out our Oprah quotes, one of my favorite quotes of Oprah is, when you get into the flow, back on Lisa's acronym, when you get into the flow, that's where your life happens.
Well, hold on. Hey, yeah, I know. I make sure that they give you credit for your stuff. No, I'll check back with you afterwards. Can you tell Gail that I want my eggs over easy? And I'll talk to you guys later.
Uh-huh. Oprah had to call in.
She had to call in because she was like, y'all just throwing my name all around. You ain't booked me as a guest. I was like, look, Oprah. You can't be everywhere. This is not the OWN network.
There's a waiting list.
This is the Empowerment Network. I'm going to need you to ease back, bruh.
If we got Oprah, whoever was our scheduled guest ain't our guest no more that day. You got bumped is what that is. Man. For real.
But the wonderful thing is we have some amazing guests.
And I've been thinking about the guests we've had over the years, baby. We have had an amazing collection of guests on this show and at our showcases.
Thank you for the love.
Hearts, and thank you for those things very much. So let's dive into it a little bit. What is preparation? To me,
yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I should preface it that way. What are elements of preparation? Let's put it that way. What are elements of preparation?
The elements of preparation.
What are they? Some of the elements of preparation includes studying.
They do.
Studying about the thing that you're endeavoring to do.
Which is why we incorporate reading in the books that we read in this broadcast so that people can continue to prepare their hearts and minds for the success that we are praying for each and every one.
Reading, studying, YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. You know, a year ago, I like to look at, in the morning sometimes, I like to look at what is CNN talking about, and I'll scroll through all their headlines. And then what is the New York Times talking about website? I'll scroll through the headlines. And what is MSNBC talking about? I'll scroll their headlines. And for giggles, I'll say, what is Fox News headlines? And it's just so amazing. Fox News has entirely different headlines than the other three that I look at.
Anyway.
They don't even look at the same stuff. But anyway.
Good morning, Shadina. I actually called you by name this morning.
I did too, Shadina. I tagged on the post. But MSNBC, for more than a year, you can't read their articles. It's all videos.
Mm.
And it pisses me off. I was like, dang, I don't want to watch you talk about it. I want to read about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear that. But they've moved to strictly videos, very little text.
Yeah, which is a testament to how they feel about their audience.
Which is also, it could be a wave of the future, because I have noticed that my studying habits have shifted ever so slightly from reading whole books to watching YouTube videos. I can program what I want to learn, and I can watch a ton of different perspectives of what I want to learn by watching YouTube videos.
Good morning, Shadina.
So of the future.
It could be, but I don't think that, at least for me, I am never going to not want to read. I prefer to read. I digest better when I'm reading. Precious says, letting go in order to stay present and show up for your life today.
Now, what do you call that? Do you call that preparation? Letting go is preparation to stay present?
Excuse me. I was distracted by these bones in my neck.
If y'all don't know, for how many days now?
Since Sunday.
Since Sunday. So this is Thursday. So yes. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just 4 days. Lisa has lost 9 pounds. Or 7 pounds?
7 pounds.
7 pounds. In 4 days, she's lost 7 pounds.
My neck is right there.
She's lost, her and her sister, they've been working together. And she's been disciplined. She's been on her game. She's been watching what she eats, and she's been weighing morning and night. And she's down 7 pounds in 4 days. That's good. That's exciting.
I'm excited. Carmelita, come on and join me.
Dang, you just gonna call girl out like that?
She wants to. I didn't just call her out. I love Carmelita exactly as she is.
Scream at your girl like that?
But she getting ready to have a birthday, and she says she wants to be a little bit lighter for her birthday.
Okay, that's fine. Carmelita and Santiago, her husband, they tickle me so much when they talk about their cruise. They spent a week-long cruise last week, and every time I hear them talk about it, it just tickles me so much.
I know, me too. The ultimate preparation for me letting go. It allows me to turn my lessons into blessings. Absolutely. That's where I believe that the challenge is, that the obstacles are actually the opportunities. And I was listening to Larry Beecham on yesterday and again this morning. And one of the things that he talks about is your success is being a solution to the existing problems. And that's a success principle.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot.
Well, our clients, we talk about that. Your success is being a solution to the world around you in some area.
In some area.
Just whatever your solution is.
Absolutely.
Preparation. Preparing. I think you can outstudy a circumstance. You can plow through an unpleasant or negative circumstance by studying it to death. No car, no job, no money, and I just keep studying through that process, and you can overpower circumstances. Is what I believe can happen. You can, one of my friends, Kevin Manning, he's out of Florida. He's an amazing speaker, and he has a speakers bureau. He can book us now too, by the way, because he wouldn't book me before because I didn't have a book.
Yeah, and we need to talk to King, what's his face, about
King Raboni.
Yeah, King Raboni, about our speakers bureau. For those of you that don't know, that we are actually pre-launch. We have already helped very many speakers get booked for gigs, but we're in pre-launch of the actual empowerment speakers bureau.
You forget what I was going to say about Kevin Manning.
I'm so sorry. Kevin Manning has a speakers bureau. He would book us. He also does something with preparation, or says something about preparation.
Oh, yes. He says you can always you can outstudy it. I mean, you can always be successful because you can always study. You can always read. So if you keep on reading, and he's one of these guys that went on that venture of reading a book a week.
Wow.
Reading a book a week.
I may get back on that. I've been reading about a book every 2 or 3 weeks. Just as a heads up, 15 minutes to our special guest, Ariane de Bonvoisin. She's
a children's book author.
Yes, she has 3 children's books, and I definitely believe, Precious, you're going to want to hang out because she is your kind of energy. She is a wonderful spirit energy, and I love it. Her website is mindful365.com, and I think that you will I think all of our co-hosts.
Mindful365.com is Ariana's website?
Yes, it is. and I love her children's books from what I've looked at. I think she's going to be amazing. I had the opportunity to meet with her yesterday just to get prepped for this, because
on the phone?
My producer, actually online, we tested out software and everything, because my executive producer, who's my husband, it's only 9:15. She's dropping off her son and putting on her face right now. Okay. She has a 4-year-old that she had to drop off at school this morning. But I know that we like to have some insight onto our guests and stuff. So I did some pre-work yesterday so that my preparation could meet this opportunity.
Good, which is awesome. When preparing for opportunity. Now, we don't have much time, so we need to get into this. So we understand you could study, you could physically prepare yourself, you could mentally prepare yourself, but then an opportunity comes. Now, there's a quote, an old quote. I'm going to give you a chance to agree or disagree. Opportunity only knocks once.
I don't agree.
I don't agree either. I think opportunity knocks again and again and again.
I think not opportunity be like, for real.
I think we're not.
For real. You're not answering the phone.
I think an opportunity keeps knocking, and it keeps knocking, and the frustration part is when you don't answer your opportunity.
And I'm thankful for that. And I think in that case, it goes back to opportunity equating to divine providence, because I believe that God already knows what you're predestined to be. He's the one that created and selected you. You know, the image that I use where God has this pantry of problems, and when you're about to be brought forth into the universe, he goes to the pantry and he lines you up with that problem. And he says, here you are, here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. And then he sends you down through the annals of time
with the problem that you are predestinated to solve.
Absolutely.
For the world or for somebody.
And that the rest of your life is spent.
And he keeps knocking, and the gnawing on your life, the frustration of your life is when you don't answer that door.
Absolutely. And I really believe that. I really believe that when people say, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know, or whatever. And
you're on the show, baby. You're on the show. Okay.
And you know, that it can be because you are running from your calling.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I think it's a lack of recognition of your calling. There's our guest. She's got a question.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
So opportunities. An opportunity can come to you a lot of ways. It can keep knocking on the door. Here's an opportunity can come to you. A friend can say, look, there's this thing I'm doing or interested in. I want to at least show it to you. Would you look at it? Or you see a situation in your community that has nobody driving that train, but you believe you could. Would you take that opportunity? Would you step up to the plate when that opportunity happens? They fire you at your job. You get laid off for whatever reason, not your fault at all, particularly if it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to cause the layoff. They just laid off. I'm sorry, we have to do massive layoffs. 100 people, y'all lost your job today. 100 people lost your job today. That too can be considered an amazing opportunity. An opportunity right there. You know, I'm a sales coach, and I help people that have intangible services to sell those services better than they ever have before, so they can earn more money than ever before. Very often, there are friends of ours and people that we know and people that our friends know that are offering something to the world or have an entrepreneurial pursuit and are failing at it because they don't know how to sell it.
Right.
Well, I know how to teach them to sell it. Daily, I'm helping someone to sell better. And I'm not tooting my horn. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I will tell you almost daily, someone tells me how blessed they were to take the training that I offered. Last night happened twice. Everyone, they're really, really appreciative of how I shortened the time it takes for them to become proficient in selling their services. Absolutely. I teach them how to tell what they do. I teach them why people will buy. I teach them how to feel more confident, how to overcome objections. And I will do that for anyone. And I focus on people that sell intangible services. You know, not a product, not a car or a soap, but a service, something that you do for them. And then when you're done doing it, they don't have anything that they hold, but they have the benefit of what you taught them, or touched them, or you massaged them, or did their yards, or fixed their cars, or electronic equipment, or sold them financial products. A service that I do. I teach them. Now, my number is not up here, but you can call me. 919. I do have a Calendly address, but 919 345 4893. That's 919 345 4893. Now, the reason why I'm giving my phone number now is I am giving somebody on this broadcast here an opportunity to take a free Selling Your Services phone consultation with me. That's an opportunity. If there's someone on this line right here who's not selling themselves well or selling services well, they could choose to accept this opportunity or not.
Hey, Belinda, okay. We missed your face.
I very much enjoyed talking with Belinda. I spoke to her, I think it was the day before yesterday on the phone, and she is going to be, look here on our screen, two of our next featured authors in our Published Poets edition. That's my phone number, Brian K. McNeill's phone number that's scrolling across the screen. If you have a service to offer the world, I'm presenting an opportunity for you. If you are ready, prepared,
all right?
Prepared, and I'm giving you an opportunity to learn how to sell your services better.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, I hear the calls. I have the benefit of often just being a fly on the wall. Excuse me for being distracted. I'm trying to do some technical stuff for our guests as well. But I hear Brian pouring out with the clients each and every day, because not only is he gifted at what he does, but and anointed to do it, but he cares about the success of every client that he works with. And so every day the question is, did you get value out of this session?
Yep.
And every day I might be standing in the kitchen, I might be sitting at the desk across from him, but I hear, oh my God, yes. And then going on to just, pour out what it was that helped them and what it was that turned the light bulb on them. That, for me, preparation meeting opportunity is when the green lights go off in your head. We talk about the green lights being go for you to drive forward.
Yes.
But that light bulb over your head is when the idea is Rhema for you. Mm-hmm. And then the green lights in your head, in my mind, are when all the pieces start to fit together. You see, because the way I see it sometimes with you as a sales coach and with me as a coach's coach is we're working with people that have this canvas of ingredients. They know what they know.
And they know what they want to do.
But they don't always know the instructions or the recipe to get from what they have to where they want to be. And so when they have that moment, and you can almost hear it, it's almost audible, other than the fact that they say, wow, yes, of course, but you can hear when the stuff starts clicking together and making sense.
I'm a witness. My daughter has been on fire since attending. Your daughter is amazing. And you know what, Carmelita? Carmelita, your daughter's Kayla is a great example. Kayla got some value out of it, and I can't stop thinking about Kayla since. You saying your daughter's been on fire since then? I'm thinking about your daughter since then too, because opportunities come. That's why I call her from time to time, or I'll call Sunday, or I'll do something. That class that your daughter took last month in July, I'm going to have it again here in Charlotte on October 6th. Carmelita is talking about a young entrepreneur sales training I did. And I was looking to find entrepreneurs around 30 and younger, to help them to sell themselves. And her daughter took that. I'm doing that same class again in Charlotte on October the 6th. This one's only going to be 3 hours instead of 4 hours. I think I can get it done in 3 hours instead of 4 hours. It's a boot camp for selling your services. So if you know of someone, a young entrepreneur endeavoring to get that thing going, you should have them come to the Young Entrepreneur Selling Your Service. It's called Yes Training, Young Entrepreneur Sales Training, S Training, and I'm charging only $49 for it. That's it.
So we are really, really excited about.
Thank you, Jerry.
About this topic, because preparation is really what we do. It's a critical component of our ministry as a whole. And I feel that, like you were talking about reading and studying as a part of preparation, grooming your mind is a big part of preparation.
Now, our coaches, Lisa has coaches, I have coaches, we both have mentors with an S. People that we call upon to ask, and we're always polite about it. We don't abuse our mentors. No. But it's the word mindset. Now, the mindset, and sometimes we use different terms for it, But the value of preparing your mind, like Lisa was just talking about, has become bigger and bigger and bigger to us. You know, you can't, our coaches and mentors are teaching us, you can't get there without getting your mind right first.
Right.
What does that mean?
Absolutely.
Right.
Your mind has to.
Lisa's trying to get our guest on. That's what those are. Don't be distracted, please. But your mind has to get right. It has to be like you get a field out there. What do you got to do with that field? You got to clear that field before you can plant. What is clearing that field? You got to knock down those bushes and trees that have taken root there, that are holding you back. You got to clear that field. And then you got to dig up some stuff and turn that dirt over to prepare. There she is. Our guest is, she's got a smile on her face.
A big, beautiful smile.
She looks great. We're excited to have you. How much time do we have?
We got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Before we bring you up for the world.
We're going to bring you up in 4 minutes. Y'all get ready. She is gesticulating with her arms right now, waving and smiling and laughing. We are going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Lisa found this young lady, and we're going to introduce her to you. Some of you guys, she's going to be an introduction to. Some of you guys are going to be reacquainted with her. I imagine most of you guys, this is going to be your first time meeting Ariana.
Absolutely.
So y'all going to have a good time with her. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to
3 minutes.
We're going to start exactly at 9:30. Woo!
And we're talking about today preparation, meeting, opportunity. And what I
want her thoughts on that too.
Me too.
Preparation, meeting, opportunity.
Well, actually, that's how I was tying it together, is when we just said that preparing your mind is a critical component of success. And so often we have to declutter or remove old negative things before we can replant good stuff, because those old things will be the weeds then that will eat up all of the stuff that we're trying to move forward in. And so how I see the beauty of her coming on right now is because her books, her children's books, are like laying the foundation, the fertilizer for your child to be prepared for the success, because it's giving them so much positive reinforcement, positive affirmation, positive groundwork, that like you're laying this great, delicious foundation of fertilizer, so that now as they grow,
2 minutes,
they can add the preparation. Now add on it the soul coach with Precious.
Bam.
Add on, you know what I'm saying? You're adding it in the sales coach, the coach's coach. You're adding all of these layers of deliciousness.
I gotta say this too, before she comes on. Imagine a great field.
Great field
that has not been tended to. Fertile ground that has not been tended to at all. What's going to happen to that ground? It's not going to stay the same. Weeds are going to take root. Okay,
because weeds are stronger. They can run unattended.
That's right, and they can be airborne. So anyway, the great field, fertile ground, unattended, is going to be overrun by weeds, unattended. And then someone has, here, Lisa, here's some amazing seed. I'll always get a great harvest out of this seed. Here's this amazing seed. And then you go out there and plant on top of that weeded out field.
Without
getting rid of the weeds. There's going to be no result. If those seeds dare to take any kind of root, those weeds will choke them off and kill them.
They'll get choked out. Yeah.
So that's very important. Oh my gosh, less than 1 minute, y'all. Less than 1 minute, y'all. Pull up her name again, please.
Her name is Ariane de Bonvoisin.
I'm hoping Lisa pronounced that right. Ariane de Bonvoisin.
Bonvoisin. Yes.
Ariane de Bonvoisin. I'm gonna get her to say it too. It's 9:30, baby. Let's bring her up.
Can't even wait.
Let's bring her up.
Introducing Ariane, and we'll let her say the last part of her name. Good morning.
We can't hear you yet. Let's see.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Oh Lord.
Unplug it for me. It's possible that it's not working.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Ah, yes. I was saying, like, I'm better at the inner technology than the outer technology. The outer technology, I still need a lot of help in.
Technology.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Good morning. First things first.
Good
Please
morning.
say your name the right way.
So it's the French way is Ariane de Bon Voisin, and the American way is Ariane de Bon Voisin. I've gotten used to that by now.
No,
I don't like the American way.
No, de bon voisin.
That's
Now,
perfect.
De Bon Voisin. My wife had a chance to talk with you last night.
Yes.
We have amazing guests on our show. Our show is seen all over the world. And I want you to properly, please introduce yourself however you would like.
So I am a global soul. I have a strange accent, as you can hear. I grew up in 6 different countries, 3 continents. I was exposed to a lot of cultures, races, religions, foods, life circumstances. I love people. And I'd say, you know, education, professional stuff, that's not particularly what I like my bio to be about. So I'll tell you that my most important thing is to feel like I'm of service and I'm using my gifts and I'm serving my fellow beings, but I'm also having a lot of fun and adventures along the way too. And my 2 biggest loves are my husband, Alfie, and my son, who's 4, whose name is Everest.
Alfie and Everest and Ariane.
Yeah, it's a
How exotic is that? Now, you got children's books.
I have children's books, yeah. So, you know, my background, I started in the business corporate world. I kind of took the safe route. I did what I thought was expected of me. I did what I thought was going to make my parents happy. I was all about performance and academics and kind of getting up that ladder. But I chose the wrong ladder. It didn't really have my name on it. It was much more of an external worldly thing, as opposed to something that was actually fulfilling. Because I got so much of what the world told me was going to make me happy, and it didn't make me happy. So for me, there was a real kind of, you know, coming back to myself in my early 30s of like, why am I actually doing this? I've never actually asked myself, you know, what's here for me? What do I want to choose? And so for the last 10 years,
that question.
For the last 10 years, I've been writing, I've been speaking, I've been coaching. I've mainly been doing my work with grown-ups and giving them life skills and helping them through big life changes, which is where I started my career more as an author. And I think through having children and seeing that, you know, you need to start early. You need to start these life skills and, to use your words, to lay that foundation, you know, in the first 5, 6, 7 years of a kid's life. That's what the brain neuroscientists are showing now. So I thought, can I take these life skills that we teach to people and bring it down to the level of a child, where a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a godparent can actually teach things like self-compassion or kindness or intuition, which is something we never teach to our children, or diversity or beauty. So yeah, the kids series is called Giggles and Joy. And there's 3 different books. The first is Giggles and Joy. The second is You Are Loved. And the third is Being You. And they are sweet and lovely and beautifully illustrated. That's number 1. That's number 2. And that's number 3. And so each book has 8 life skills in them.
Wow, I love that.
Highly illustrated. Yeah, it's you know, everything from how do you teach a child to breathe? Like really find their breath. How do you teach them about where their body is, you know, and how important their body is? How do you really teach a child about the importance of telling the truth? Right?
There's so much I want to ask you. Okay.
Go.
So much I want to ask you, and I want to take advantage of the time. First off, you said so much stuff just in passing. That's a beautiful thing. One of the first things you said, and I don't want to lose, there's like 2 or 3 questions racing to my head. One of the first things you said is, you are much better with the inner technology than the outer technology. Yeah. What does that mean to you?
Well, the inner technology to me is, you know, we're so focused on technology on the outside, computers and cell phones and screen times. And that's where the focus goes. Even with parents, it's like control the outside technology in your child, because that is having an amazing influence on their brain and their heart and their spirit. And I feel like, you know, the inner technology, meaning the inner ways that they make decisions, make choices, use their voice or don't use their voice, use their body. The inner technology is really where the focus should be. And I learned it the hard way, where I was given a very externally, you know, interesting life, but the inner wasn't taken care of. And, you know, it led me to write the books. The books are called Spiritual Life Lessons for Kids. And I don't want to shy away from that, because we're all very comfortable talking about a child's mind and child's body and the technology, but we're not very comfortable talking about a child's spirit and how to build that and how to raise it up and how to do it in a way that is very comfortable across all religions, across all races, where, you know, these books stand side by side with any faith, right? They're not for, they're not against. They are to just bring out the beauty of the child's spirit that's already there, you know, before life kind of pushes it down.
Heard about that.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's funny that you're our guest on the show, because our embarking in ministry is finally evolved, and we also believe that the spirit is neutral. The spirit is where the energy of God is, and it doesn't have to be tied around with any particular traditions or religions. And it's so important that if you can instill that in the child, and whatever they gravitate to after that will have a pure foundation.
Exactly.
Now,
you know,
very few conversations that I even heard about discussing the children's spirituality. We're going to catch up on the comments here. Precious Pauling, who's our soul coach.
Yes, she's our soul coach. She's the author of 365 Days to Loving Yourself to Life. And she says, that's me for sure, trying to unite my inner with my outer. I have inner and working on outer now, loving my life from the inside out. And I think that's very true.
She loves it. I love it.
Because Precious is very spiritually grounded, and she is now trying to connect with the external technology, if you will. She has this delicious peace, love, entity, energy.
If I was to put a number on it, I would say more than 90% of us have it completely backwards. We're trying to use the external to impact ourselves.
That's right.
We really should begin internally.
That's exactly right. And, you know, people I coach, they're trying to fix external parts of their life. They're trying to fix their relationship or fix their financial life and it's just the screws are not on the outside, right? When the inner life changes, the
screws are not on the outside.
The inner life is what's changing. And I feel with our children, we're so focused on how they're being outside in the world. You know, we're trying to prepare them for the outside world. We're trying to train their mind. We're trying to get them to fit in some ways. And, you know, getting your child to get to a good school and get to college, that's all great. But fitting into the mass consciousness, if you really look at it, how happy are our children, our teenagers, our young adults?
I don't think they're very happy today. The teenagers, because I have a men's group with teenagers in it. And overall, they're not as happy as I remember us being. They have way more pressures than we had. The bullying is taken at 10 times what we had, because it's 24 hours now instead of just at school.
Yes.
And they're getting so many pressures to take drugs, to have sex. They're getting pressured on this stuff all of the time. So I don't think they're as happy as we once were.
Because they're looking to feel differently, right? And the feeling, they don't want to feel differently on the outside. They want to feel differently about themselves, right? They want to feel good enough, right? That's the basis of children and adults. I want to be good enough. I want to be safe. I want to be loved, right? Those are three absolute parameters of human behavior at any age.
I want to be good enough. Let's class. Let's come along, class.
Yeah. I want to feel safe and I want to feel loved. And we spend our whole life trying to get from the world, am I safe? Am I good enough? Am I loved? In any job, in any relationship, you're trying to get it. So it's like, you know, there is a poem in You Are Loved called You Are Safe, because safety for a child is not external. It's not both your parents being at home. It's something that's an internal feeling. You know, there's a poem called Home. Home is not the four walls. You know, most children are going to go through at least 1 or 2 or 3 homes. You know, they might go from parents to grandparents to who knows. So it's sort of expanding their sense of what is safety. You know, love is not about performance. It's not about grades. It's not about being first and, you know, hitting on the baseball pitch. So you're loved, you're guided, you're protected, no matter
what. Where are you? The baseball pitch. Where are you now?
I'm based in New York City, but you know,
Okay.
I have a 4-year-old.
But the pitch, that's European phraseology.
Is it? See? That's on the field. I got it.
So I definitely struggle with this area with my son, who is now 22. He'll be 23 this year. But when he was in middle school, it was such a challenge to have a conversation or a relationship that didn't circle around behavior or grades.
Mm-hmm.
And so
even now my son.
Yeah, wanting to still have a relationship that's autonomous of that still says, look, I want the best for you. I want you to have the best grades and the best behavior, but those are not the things that define my love for you. I love you when your bad behind wakes up in the morning and doesn't do anything that you're supposed to be doing. I still love you.
Yeah.
But it was difficult to learn the right language that would articulate that without permitting the behavior, for lack of a better word. I don't know how else to put that. But
yeah, I mean, here's what I would say to that, which is one of the most important with children at any age is to actually give them permission to feel and have feelings. And I feel like we allow this much when they're a baby, and then this much when they're a toddler, and then this much when they go to kindergarten, and then this much as a teenager, and you're squashing their emotional life. And
I think you're right. I think you're right.
The emotions are allowed, the behaviors are not. But I tell you, you need to let your kids get angry. Like they need, if otherwise it's repressed, or it will be in smoking or drugs or alcohol. They need to be okay getting angry. As an adult, I feel good when I let out my anger. Of course, I do it in a conscious way. I feel great when I cry, like properly cry. I've had to learn to be okay with the release that comes from crying. But I feel like, ooh, I've lost you. Are you still there? Hello, hello. Hello. Uh-oh. Hi. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Uh-oh. Okay.
All right, we're back up.
We're back. Can you see us? There we go. Ariane is a trooper and the devil is a liar.
Let me tell y'all, Lisa was working furiously to get this back.
I was too. I restarted my whole computer. I was like, I'm not losing these two. Absolutely not.
You were giving too much good. Oh my Lord. Precious
anyway,
Falling is
I was talking about the emotional
wait, before you get there, before you go there, Precious Pauling says, feeling the kindred spirit. Lisa, your vibrational magnet is spot on. You are about to soar because your momentum is unstoppable. Get ready. And so I want to catch up on that. I want to say this too, because I want you to have more time. You and I have something major in common. You and I. There was a story that I have a children's book as well. I have one. My children's book is called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, featuring Mr. Randall the Rhino. Now, this is a story and it's beautifully illustrated. It's great applications comparing characteristics of the rhinoceros with the great salesperson in a way that children can be introduced to the profession, okay? Now, the thing about that is for more than 20 years, I've only told that story to adults, until my wife had the great idea about 2 Decembers ago to make that story that I always tell into a children's book. And it's been amazing for me. You said you work mostly with adults exclusively. And so your children's book was a way to the things that the adults need, but to pour it into the children much earlier in a language they can understand. We have that in common. I just want to get that out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, I spoke to a neuroscientist who said to me that perceptions acquired by the age of 6 become the dominant life patterns, subconscious programs that shape the character of an individual's life. And I was like, whoa, you know, I have a nearly 5-year-old and I was like, wow. So by 6 years old, they have decided what they feel about things like safety and love and men and women and work and money and relationships. And you know, and to me, that was a real wake-up call that we actually don't have that much time. And as much as these books are for kids, you know, the gift is also to whoever's reading them, because I can tell you there's a poem in here called Bye Bye Bad Day. And I read it and there are times where I'm feel emotional because I'm the one going through a bad day. Or, you know, my child will naturally pick one of them. And I feel like he's picking it because I need to hear that.
Yeah. That's really, no, I don't want that. I want you to give me anything to dry my tears. Here, you want this dirty sock?
Emotions are good.
Yeah, they are. But I definitely resonate with what you're saying. I ask our audience, if you have hung in there with us, please share the broadcast and invite others back. We will share it out again for those that may have dropped off when we had the technical difficulties. We're still here, but knowing one of the things that we were talking about before we brought you on about the foundation of energy, of life, of preparation for your growth and development that happens before you're operating in your full consciousness. So when you're operating in your natural spiritual consciousness, that age before the age 5 or 4 or 6, right? Those are formative. And so many of us, the reason the tears were falling is because I know that I have been farming that land and removing those weeds for things that were planted very, very early in the soil of my existence. And so wanting to obviously leave the world a better place and help others, children particularly, but even adults who have gotten to the place where they are now at least aware that some of the behaviors and some of the emotions and some of the things that they go through didn't happen during their conscious lifetime. It happened during their formative and integrated itself into their psyche, and now they have to be conscious about going back and relearning life, relearning the inner technology, which is, I'm going to borrow that from you forever. I love that.
We have 4 minutes more with you, and I want to give you a chance to get out the things that you want to get out. Well, we got until 9:55 Eastern time, so we got 3 more minutes. So go ahead, my sister.
You know, here's what I would say. The big message that I really feel everyone needs to hear is that they're doing great. It's not one more thing to add to their plate. Everyone's exhausted. This isn't about self-improvement. It's not about improving your kids. This is a tool to just allow you to shine and be the best parent, which is, I know what everyone's intention is, or the best grandparent, or the best teacher. So there's a big theme through the book, which is there's no self-judgment, there's no self-criticism, there's no self-negativity. And so, you know, some people, they hear the books and they're like, oh my God, I'm a bad parent. What am I doing wrong? No. You know, like, there's none of that in this whatsoever. This is really just like, you know, it's the end of a tired day. You've had a big job. You want to read to your kids. You know, you want to just help put some of those bricks in place so that your child makes good choices and good decisions. And you pick one of them and you help them learn about something that, you know, is going to sort of change their life. There's one called Sad and Mad, which is helping a child develop the language around being sad and being mad. And then you as a parent can kind of go, you know what, here's when I get sad, or here's when I get mad. So every one of these life skills is sort of, it's an invitation to have a much deeper conversation with your child, where you can also meet them and they meet you. So there's an intimacy that's developed. So, you know, I'm very big on just sort of embracing people with where they are and already all the great things that they're doing. You know, your kids are beautiful, your kids are resilient. You can start at any time. In some ways, it's never too late, whatever the age of your child is.
Absolutely.
You know, that's amazing.
I'm big on.
I want to make sure that you get a chance to say this too. Is there if someone is with you this morning, they're connecting with you, what can they do to be supportive of you and your mission? Do you have any packages, about 3 books you get them for a certain anything?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So actually, the whole 3-book series is available on Amazon. It is discounted right now. It's a great gift set. I've given it, you know, godparents, grandparents, christenings, like at any time. So the 3 books are on Amazon. If you go under Giggles and Joy. If you're like,
Giggles and Joy.
Giggles and Joy. So that's the first one. Giggles and Joy.
Okay.
If you want to just try one. Gigglesandjoy.com. If you want to see what other parents are saying, we've had lots of experts, you know, Goldie Hawn's endorse them. We had Oprah's parenting coach endorse them. We've had people, you know, just say, we've had people say, you know what, these need to be in children's hands. Another thing I'm doing is for people who really cannot afford them, you know, who are in very low income schools but want to have them in a kindergarten class, first grade, second grade. I am sending books for free. I also have a mission to support. So, you know, I say that because I don't want anyone to feel, you know what, I really can't afford this. So on the Giggles and Joy website, there's a contact form. I have sent books out to kids who they would eat them. And it makes my heart feel great.
All right. Well, is Giggles and is and spelled out? Giggles and
Joy. Giggles and Joy. Spiritual life lessons for kids. Yeah. It's only Giggles and Joy on Amazon.
You have been an amazing guest. We appreciate you very much. We were definitely going to want to have you come back at some time in the future.
We'll have good chats, and thanks for who you guys are and the work you're doing.
You can hang out with us. We're going to take you off the big screen, but if you don't have to rush off, just hang out with us for a couple of minutes after 10, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Did she not bless us this morning, y'all?
Absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed.
Wow.
And I think that it ties so perfectly in with the theme for today's show, which was preparation meets opportunity. Now, we always want you to support our guests, and you can go to gigglesandjoy.com or Ariana's direct website as well. But we also want you to know that we're here to support you as well. And if Brian can help you with sales coaching this week, or if I can help you with strategizing your fourth or first quarter for our amazing coaches out there, I am happy to do that. You can either go to Brian's website, briankmcneill.com, or you can go to mine, I am LisaSantiago.com.
Whatever medium you're on, if you're on Facebook, for example, right now, you can reach out to me, Brian Keith McNeill or Brian K. McNeill on Facebook, or Lisa Santiago McNeill on Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'm Brian K. McNeill, or The Most Fun Speaker. That's
the most fun speaker. And of course, you could call him directly because he's always on the freaking phone anyway.
I have all of these tools and Calendly and all that stuff, but I'm still old school. I like a phone call. Or a text or something, all right?
Now, we are the Empowerment Duo. We continue to remain as such, and we still come out and we will support you, your business, and your event as your host or as joint keynote speakers. So we love to help and grow.
Yeah, and get either one of us or us together. Lisa just mentioned one thing that's kind of, what did you say? I thought was so cool, and it's just escaping me. Something happened. You said something really cool, and I didn't say it right there.
I'm sorry. Anyway. We're going to have to get you some ginkgo biloba.
I'll need to go get some ginkgo biloba today. Ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, all that stuff. High HTP, 5 HTP.
High TPC or TC, HTC.
All that stuff works for me. Whenever I try any of them, I wonder how much of it is psychological.
I think almost all of it. Oh, and don't forget tomorrow, join us in the Empowerment Circle at 12 noon at 933 Louise Avenue in the Advent co-working space.
That is a networking event unlike any other. You will get a chance to be heard. You'll meet some dynamic people. 12 noon tomorrow is the Empowerment Circle networking event. We do it every Friday at 12 noon at 933 Louise Avenue, Charlotte, North Carolina.
And the last reminder of the day is actually my most intimate, and that is the launch of the Empowerment Circle Interfaith Worship Experience.
Interfaith Fellowship?
The Interfaith Fellowship. We're looking forward to having you to bring your special brand of consciousness, anointing, and spirit into the circle so that we can share your thoughts with one another and be empowered together.
Our circle is open. It's not seated chairs to pews. Our seats are in a circle. We sit in a circle for our fellowship. We talk about higher consciousness, and all faiths are welcome. All faiths are welcome. All ethnicities are welcome. Age ranges are welcome. We're going to talk about some grown folk stuff. Our initial service is going to be the 29th of September at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. It's not time yet, baby.
It is time.
Anyway. But that's our initial service starting at 10 a.m. After that first service, our regular service time is going to be Saturdays from 1 till 3. Ariana was amazing. She's still going. We're going to talk to her for a few minutes after we get on, so we get blessed. But thank you for each one of us that stuck with us, particularly sticking with us through the technical difficulties today.
Absolutely, and we are glad that you did, because we can continue to build and grow together. We are thankful for each of you. I am LisaSantiagoMcNeill.
And I am Brian Keith McNeill.
And this is Let's Talk About It on ESPTV7 on the SIBN network, on iHeart, iTunes, and right here on Facebook Live.
And remember that your life is not a scrimmage or a practice game. There is no Martyrs Hall of Fame. Time, the speedster, takes its toll. And for all of us, every day really is the Super Bowl. So God bless you, and go forward and live your Super Bowl life today. Football starts tonight. What?
Remember that you are blessed by the blessor to be a blessing, and permission to be amazing is granted. Today is Thursday, and so that means you need to go find someone you love and have sex.